Welcome back to outer space. Just kidding. We're in your local movie theater parking lot. I'm Mara.
And I'm Gio.
And we are fresh out the film.
Indeed. Finally back in our real,
Back
our domain.
once again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How does it feel?
Feels great. Feels like we never left. Feels like we've always been here.
Yeah, based on how smooth our intro is going, 100%. Never left.
Yeah. Was that being ironic or did it go smooth?
Well, I was going to try to derail it right there with some silence, but you actually picked up pretty well and continued us on, so... Wow, that car got me as well. You can tell we're back in the movie theater parking lot, although our listeners can't see it. You're being very distracted by many things happening outside the car.
Yeah.
That is a common trope of... Oh,
I just hurt my neck.
Hopefully that doesn't become a common trope.
I'm just not going to look at you for a second.
Interesting segue there into the movie that we saw today with the fact that here's a long one, right? Your neck hurting, right? Our necks didn't have to hurt during this movie today because we decided not to see it in IMAX, though it was a very big IMAX recommendation movie.
Oh, can I say, and this might be controversial, I'm glad because all of the flashing lights and shit that was happening in this movie, I would have been sent into a spiral. I kept having to look over at the wall a little bit with all of that, especially the beginning of the movie. I'm glad we saw it on, and I realized I don't really have a problem with IMAX. It's just how big the fucking screen is. That's my main issue.
Oh, yeah.
That's what we've really discussed over time, and it's just
hotly debated.
It's too big. I need to be able to look away a little bit when something is about to give me motion sickness.
Yeah, wow.
Which is why I got sick during Deadpool versus Wolverine.
You may have some underlying stuff, I don't know, going on with the flashing lights and everything, and motion sickness. That's more than the screen, possibly, because I've never had that necessarily with IMAX, versus regular screens, noticing the difference of, I don't know, feeling like I'm epileptic more so, you know what I'm saying?
No, that's not what I'm saying,
is that, it's like...
No, it makes me nauseous.
Jeez.
It makes me feel like I'm gonna be sick.
My goodness.
Wait.
So this happens in IMAX more so, but your problem with IMAX is still just the big screen.
Well, that's the issue, is the big screen is causing
Is that the issue or the brightness?
The issue is the big screen, because because when I can look away, it's fine. But being in that theater with it, being, almost all around you, and I know it's not, and you can, look over, but it's just,
It fills up all your peripheral vision.
Yeah, it's so intense.
You'd have to, turn your head, a lot. You'd have to hurt your neck to be able to look away. Yeah, that makes sense. I don't know. We were having that conversation on Oscars night. This is our first episode since Oscars night, actually.
Yeah.
Do we have a segment to talk about that?
We do now. It's right here.
It's right here. Train Dreams should have won Best Picture. Number 1.
Yeah.
One Battle After Another is not that good. It's great, but it's not as good as Train Dreams.
Right. Listen to our episode on it. You could hear all of our thoughts about that. Yeah. I think I knew Train Dreams wasn't going to win at that point.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was going to be between One Battle After Another and Sinners. All of the people I've talked to were I knew it was going to be One Battle After Another.
Yeah.
So I guess I just had a little more hope than the rest of
social media, man. That's what I noticed is that was Wilder walked up to me and was dude, I'll bet you $20 that One Battle After Another is not gonna win or whatever. And
he was convinced.
Yeah, I didn't take it, but it was. I hate to say that was I am going to say it. That was the normie pick this year. I think that's what it was, is One Battle After Another. And I'm angry that the normie pick won. I guess maybe Sinners because it got nominated so much.
No. You could not classify Sinners, though, as the normie pick.
Yeah, exactly. It would be a lot harder to than
Despite
Paul Thomas
all
Anderson,
of the
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah. No way.
Sean Penn winning, though, that's the one. And Tiana Taylor, the two big highlights, because those we both predicted correctly.
Tiana Taylor did not win.
Oh, she didn't?
No.
What?
You're from Weapons. She won.
Oh, it was Amy Madigan,
Yeah.
right? Because we went on and on. Oh, jeez, I guess I was complaining about
But
Tiana
her
Taylor.
speech was very nice, and I was like, "Aw, that's so cute."
And Tiana Taylor still gets an Oscar for One Battle After Another, then, right?
For
For Best Picture? Does she get to bring one home?
I don't know.
That's how it works, right?
Do they all get one?
That's what I thought. I mean, the whole freaking crew comes up there. Like, think about La La Land Moonlight and how many people were shuffling around.
Oh yeah.
So I'm pretty sure she got one then. I think that's why I was confused because I feel like I could picture her holding an Oscar.
Yeah, no, because she didn't win. Yeah, Sean Penn did win,
Uh-huh.
which is like, yay, that is a good thing. But it's also like, it's Sean Penn who's like kind of an asshole, so it's like annoying that being like one of like the good wins for the night. Where it's like, well, he's not a great guy, but like I'm glad.
Yeah, well,
Like he should have won performance wise, but it's like also like I liked the other people more than Sean Penn, because Sean Penn is just like kind of a dude and like, done some rough things.
yeah, I don't know much
believe.
about his acting history, but or sorry, his like non-acting history.
Yes.
And the Academy is famous for, well, not always, but they'll turn the other cheek to that for a long, long time.
Oh, for sure.
So I'm not surprised, but yeah, he was definitely the best performance there. That we raved about him. In the Oscars episode, because he was just like, that's one of those that we won't see for a long time, where we get like our 100%, you walk out of the movie, oh, he's winning Best Supporting.
Yeah, no.
And it carries that far through.
For sure. But I think like just when we're talking about like the big wins that like we felt, I would not say Sean Penn was one of those for me, even though we predicted it.
Sure, yeah.
It would be obviously Michael B. Jordan winning for Best Actor.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't Chalamet.
That was my highlight of the night, probably.
100%, yeah. I don't know. I'm trying to think of what we were talking about in the Oscars episode. Because we talked about Chalamet for so much of that, because I was just sure he was winning.
And I
was
talking about how much I wanted Michael B. Jordan to win.
You were?
And for Timothée Chalamet not to win. Yes.
Oh.
Because I was talking about that all day at the Oscars. I talked about that on the episode.
Interesting. Yeah.
I think he was the obvious winner in my mind. Like, he clearly had the best performance. I guess I can't necessarily speak because I didn't see all of the people nominated, but out of the things I've seen, he was like by far the best. Like, there's no comparison, and he played two characters.
It's not even his best role, me personally, but which is interesting.
Right, like that's
so
the
like
thing.
he could do better too, man. He still rised above everybody else deservingly this year.
Totally, like I think I agree with that, but it's not on the same level of like when we say Timothée Chalamet. Like, this wasn't his best role, and that's why he shouldn't win. This wasn't his best role, and it was just average. This wasn't Michael B. Jordan's best role, and it was so amazing.
Yeah.
Like, that's, like, just the different standard, which I think just, like, shows the range he has, like, as an actor.
100%.
Just insane.
And going to Five Guys afterwards was, I mean,
think it was In and Out.
Oh, yeah, sorry, In and Out. My bad. Yeah, that is iconic.
Yeah.
Dude. That is,
it is.
That's a great move right there, and what a freaking, what an ad for In-N-Out Burger.
Dude, I don't even like In-N-Out, and made me want In-N-Out.
Yeah. You don't like In-N-Out, though? Oh, my Lord.
You know this about me.
Sheesh.
I don't like their fries.
Yeah, the fries suck.
And a burger place for me really is based off the fries, but that's not important.
It is just as important, though, if we're talking burger and fries. Sorry, I'm not talking, I know it's not important to the conversation.
But yes.
Yeah, 50. I get you.
Yeah.
But the In-N-Out Burger is just that good. Animal style. I might have to get one on the way home tonight.
Well, it's making me want a burger.
Oof.
Just talking about Michael B. Jordan eating a burger makes me want a burger.
Well,
yeah, so I think a semi-successful Oscars.
Yeah. Ludwig Göransson winning was great. I mean, the you know, some of the performances were awesome. The Sinner stuff on stage, the whole tribute to Rob Reiner and everybody was really cool.
Yeah, like the first female cinematographer.
Oh
winning.
yes, that was awesome.
That was so cool.
Though I did not, I was not cheering for her when it was cool when I realized that she won, that to see that she was the first to do it.
Yeah.
That was pretty crazy, and it's like, it's not like the cinematography in Sinners was bad at all. Dude. It was
right.
It was like comparatively to Train Dreams, it was right neck and neck for me.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
I well deserved over
Absolutely.
there. Yeah, good Oscars.
Yeah.
Not much politics at this Oscars either, which is kind of nice. And it's just not many, because you know, watching the Oscars with a full room of people like you, where you tend to feel the room shift when different political things are picked are brought up, like speeches, and so I kind of liked how so much more this year it felt like just focused on the moment for a lot of people. It's just small people winning and just like, I don't, yeah. Yeah. You're not with me on that?
No, I feel like there were so many like political things that were said in like speeches and things.
Yeah, not even close to previous Oscars though. I read, like, if you look,
I don't know, maybe like you're saying, I was
like,
more aware of it because there were other people in the room, and every time it happened, like someone in the room said something.
Yeah.
So maybe you're right, and I was just more aware of it.
Well, like the major speeches that are gonna be remembered this Oscars aren't anything political, which is kind of, well, I don't know if that's
and
like.
It was for last Oscars?
Well, I guess not. I don't know. Yeah, maybe I'm just speaking out of turn, but
I feel like there are some award shows that are like, is the Golden Globes, do they get more political? Like, what's the
this year? Like there were a few things that were muted on the Golden Globes. I remember, so I guess it did. But I'm not sure. I like just, you know, because there's a lot of the times that when people are talking about different issues, they also tend to like put down like the thing that they're winning, you know, where they're just like, this doesn't matter, which is like a good thing for them and what they're doing. But when you do get a flow of people, or like, you know, consistent people who are like, as much as I don't want to just prop up the people running the award shows and everything, it is a cool moment, you know, like the feeling of winning an Oscar, the fact that people can still look on that and work towards that is awesome. It's those speeches.
Totally.
About the kind of legacy of it that will continue that dream.
Yeah. Absolutely. I agree.
And that's the Oscars.
Yeah. That's the Oscars. Good Oscars, I'd say.
Very.
Pretty good Oscars. Sorry, I was finding one more last name that I forgot. Okay. Ready to jump into the movie we saw today?
Yeah. We've let this one simmer for a while.
For a little bit, but that's okay. It was a long movie, so.
Exactly.
So sorry. Okay. Need to take a sip of my drink before I start.
All right, the movie. I got it. The movie that we saw today was Project Hail Mary. Dun 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 dun.
Directed by Phil Lord and Christopher Miller. A screenplay done by Drew Goddard, I think.
Yeah, one of the
Cinematography done by Greg Fraser, and score done by Daniel Pembert. It is starring Ryan Gosling. What?
I'd like to think they called him Pemmy at some point. So that's what I was shouting at.
Okay, Pemmy.
Yeah, sorry.
Starring Ryan Gosling, Sandra Hüller, and James Ortiz. The budget was $200 million.
Wow.
And I was surprised for a space movie like
yeah.
this being up there. Do you want to guess how much it made opening weekend?
I think I know a ballpark, so no.
Okay. You could have just guessed anyway.
Well, I'd be lying. It'd be disingenuous.
80 million.
Oh. I was like 30 million off,
Okay,
actually.
well, you should have
I guess
guessed.
because
You
I
see
looked
how
a
much
couple
you
days after.
threw
Or maybe
off
I
my
looked
flow?
international. Damn. That's too bad. Yeah, I should have guessed.
It is now standing at like 155 million.
Is this domestic? You always do? I forget.
Yeah, like the global, like the worldwide.
No, this is global. This is international.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus! I thought it made more. That's. I mean, a great amount of, insane amount of money for the opening weekend, no doubt. But for whatever reason, I thought globally that it was doing a little bit better than it was. It must be banging domestically a lot more. For me, it's been dominating my social media feeds ever since it came out, which is a telling thing. And then we went to see it today, which is, 6 days after it came out or whatever, and it's the theater was still full.
I mean, yeah, I guess.
I mean, it wasn't full. No.
I mean, we were in a
Sorry.
very small theater, and not
We were in a
all the
very small
seats
theater,
were
but there were a
full,
good
but,
like 20 people in our theater, which for it, I mean, I guess it is a nighttime
I
show,
would
but
say
on
like
a Wednesday,
10 people.
walking out, there's definitely 20 people, like without a doubt, because the whole row in front of us was filled. That was 10 people right there.
Walking out after everyone left.
No. I watched everybody walk out. It was impressive, dude. Like it wasn't that's what I'm trying to say here is that there are people going to see this movie. Like, I think.
Totally. Rotten Tomatoes score is 95%. It is an 8.5 on IMDb and a 4.4 out of 5 on Letterboxd.
Consistent.
Yeah. So pretty.
Insanely highly rated.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll see if that holds up.
We will see. We'll see today.
Time will tell.
All right, are you ready to jump into the story?
Yeah. I had a little bit on the marketing real fast first that I was talking about.
Oh, I knew it. I knew there was gonna be something. I should have went into another because every time I don't think there's something, there is something.
Yeah, that's normally how I operate. I like to come out of the unknown a lot.
Yeah.
But it's basically just it had an insane run, and that's what I was trying to build up with the whole, because I thought it made a shit ton of money, and it is domestically in the opening weekend. But basically, it was the first two trailers that it started with. Where the first one, which we saw, was like loner space vibe, like just like The Martian or Ad Astra, and then the next trailers, which you didn't see, I don't think. Which I'm interested. Like, did you see any more trailers after that?
No.
Like, did you see Rocky in any trailers?
No.
See, that's what's really cool, because the next trailers gave us Rocky, and it was like friendship. It was like a buddy cop space movie type thing that they were doing. That, for me, ended up being bad because of various things in this movie. Like I knew exactly what Rocky looked like. Also because they can, there was a full-blown animatronic of Rocky in central London being promoted. There was did you see Ryan Gosling's Project Hail Mary throw that he did?
No.
He tried to throw a football, and they edited it to make it look like he threw it really long, but he has horrible form trying to throw the football, so he's just getting dogged on. It was just like a bunch of crazy stuff, light shows, Lego sets, and obviously the cherry on top was the La La Land hand correction, which
I did see that.
I hope you saw. Yeah,
that was the one thing I saw.
If people don't know, Ryan Gosling on the La La Land poster, his hand is angled upwards, and that's his biggest career mistake. I think he answered to was not having that hand even, and so he fixed it on a poster for Project Hail Mary. So it was just a lot of cool stuff, and I think it really got people in theaters. And again, it's speaking to this new guerrilla marketing and just creative.
And people just love Ryan Gosling. Like,
That's
he's
true.
so marketable. Like,
yeah, he definitely
people
is.
love him and have loved him for like a while.
Yeah, I love Ryan Gosling, man. I haven't met
As
many
do
people
I.
who don't like Ryan Gosling.
Right.
In fact, I don't know any.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I don't know.
But that's all I have for marketing.
Amazing. Well, now we can jump into the story.
Yeah,
with a spoiler
Hey,
warning.
Nice. I was just about to see that. Spoiler warning at the top there. We're both on oh,
yeah.
Oh, sorry.
It's just so small.
Yeah. It's not a very big not very big text here. The film opens and we see that it's made by Amazon. Too bad. Amazon movies. I guess we're happy that they're doing big old theatrical releases. What's also interesting is we get to see the Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer studio
Oh.
tag or whatever, you know, little animation that they do, and we got the lion, which I feel like I haven't seen in like a long time. I don't watch maybe enough Amazon movies, but that's literally the lion that I used to see all the time watching those movies as a kid.
I've seen him not that long ago. But
Really?
yeah.
On what movies?
I'm not sure.
Are you watching Amazon stuff? Is that why?
Yes, probably.
Yeah, I just
That's probably it.
I've never watched like an Amazon original movie or I don't watch any of the shows. I've definitely watched Amazon movies in the past, but I just not in a while. It caught me off guard. The film opens on a spacecraft. A man named Ryland Grace, which I don't even really remember his first name.
I had no idea.
Wakes up from a coma. He struggles to get himself on his feet again and has no memory of how he got there. It's played for a lot of comedy. It's a dude waking up and just gaining his mind back, basically.
Yeah.
And you have a lot of questions. He's just like you. The only other two crew members aboard, Captain Yao Li Jie and engineer Alicia, can't pronounce that last name. They're both dead, unfortunately. I know.
They are.
It's very sad. And the movie, we see them be dead. We see Ryan Gosling react, and then they go to a shot behind one of the like little sleep pods, and it says, it's a little tag that says deceased, and it's like, seriously? Okay, yeah, we get the point, dude.
Right.
He's dead. So he looks out the window and sees that he's somewhere up in space and figures out he's in a star system very, very far from Earth, which is bad, obviously, and estimates it'll take him 13 years to return home.
Yikes.
Yep, so not a good situation. He also doesn't have the fuel to get home. I don't know if we know
would
that yet.
freak the fuck out.
Yeah, well, because it's just, you got a lot of questions here, man. I'd be freaking out as well. Because he knows a ton, which is kind of crazy, because he can't remember what's going on, but he keeps, like, looking at stuff and handbooks and doing various things around the ship where, like, he's smart. He's got all this knowledge in there, which is nothing to really connect the dots.
Yeah, no, he's not like the average person, like in a spaceship trying to figure shit out. Like he has a general idea of things.
Yep, but he's not a captain, or at least he doesn't like being a captain. We can see because every time he gets in the captain's chair, he's freaking out about that. Again, it's played for a lot of comedy this whole way through. Not the whole way, but like they're bouncing back and forth. But specifically as he's first bumbling around the ship, but up until he realizes that he's lost in space. It's just, comedy, which is all right.
Totally.
So then it's back on Earth, and this is some fractured storytelling we got going here, where we're bouncing back and forth to the past before Grace left. We meet a government agent named Eva Stratt, who visits Grace over his work on the Petrova line. Knowing that there's credible threat to the Earth's sun, basically these molecules that are like blocking out the sun, cooling down the Earth, and killing everybody. She brings Grace in to do some research with some samples of astrophage? How did they say it? It's Phage. Astrophage gathered. After a few failures, Grace learns that the astrophage is a cell. So they figured out alien life, which is kind of like. Grace freaks out about it, but it's not really. It doesn't make waves at all. It dies after some exposure, which is also played for comedy because it's like, oh, we have an alien, and it just dies a second later.
Yeah, throughout this whole scene, like he's in like a lab of sorts where people are like watching him through like a window in like a safe, uncontaminated area, and like the whole thing is just like flashing to them to like play it for comedy.
Yeah.
Of him just like freaking out and then
it
being
is
like
really
completely deadpan.
Yeah. No, it's hilarious. Like
Yeah.
I was cracking up with it, and because they just, Grace is like this disgraced scientist pretty much that was teaching at an elementary school that they just pulled out, and now he's doing all this stuff trying to help save the world.
Yeah.
And it's just I don't know. He's a weird dude.
Yeah.
Weird dude, kind of just laughing his way through everything.
Yeah.
Joking his way, at least.
Totally.
So yeah, it dies after some exposure, the astrophage. But Grace deduces it was made entirely of water, which unfortunately disproves his entire paper that we learned about earlier. Further research shows that the astrophage comes from Venus via the planet's carbon dioxide taking energy from the sun. Grace reports to the to Strat for astrophage replication, since it's considered a viable fuel source. There's a lot of like science mumbo jumbo going on here, but basically the astrophage is the fuel, and he has to go in front of like a council of scientists and explain how this fuel can work and how they could go out to a different star and essentially take a Hail Mary shot at finding something out at this one star that's not being affected by the dots in space, whatever those are called, and then save humanity. Essentially, that's the whole plan. Project Hail Mary.
Yes.
And that's all. I mean, that could be it, dude. The issue is that other stars are being affected. The mission is to go there on one. I already explained all that. Sorry.
And I will say really quickly, when Grace, when he asks about, like, what is Project Hail Mary, it just cuts straight to this scene of what's her name? What's the lady's name?
They use her last name, Strat.
Of Strat just standing in front of, like, what is presumably, like, a presentation that at the bottom just says, what is Project Hail Mary? It made me laugh out loud. I'm like, oh my god.
It's crazy.
He just said that and then they cut to it right there.
The amount they do that a lot where they just cut to what they're talking about, but for comedy. But it's just every single moment is played for comedy. Like, it's actually crazy how it's like does not take itself seriously at all.
Yeah.
But then like you go back to a lot of the times to the spaceship, like in this instance, back in the present, and Grace is sending off the two dead astronauts that he went, having this really emotional moment. And then there's like an issue with the space controls, or the ship's controls, as Grace approaches the star and sees the Petrova line, which are the dots that I'm talking about in the sky blocking out the sun. And he sees like a giant alien spacecraft. So it's like hard tone shift pretty much into like big sci-fi movie going.
Right.
It looks like it's about to break out Star Trek style pretty much.
See, and at this point, I knew nothing more than, like, the initial trailer.
Yeah.
And just being like, yeah, it's a Ryan Gosling space movie. So I didn't know any of this shit was gonna happen.
That's what I think is so cool about that. Because, talk about, like, there's some other moments in there, like, was it better that you didn't see the future trailers then to be able to have that preserved and then broken for you, that it's not Ryan Gosling's space loner movie?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Because in, like, my mind, I just feel like, I'm like, okay, I feel like this has been done before, and what are they really going to do with it, and how are they going to make it different and make it, like, interesting to watch, and it's, like, so long, so, like, how is that going to work? So, yeah, I think I enjoyed what, like, the twist, I guess, was, but it's
100%.
not a real twist, because they did have it, like, in the trailers, so it's not... But a bit of a twist, I guess.
It's a twist if you don't watch it. It's a problem with modern trailers, and I was praising them for marketing it as they did until I saw the movie, because there's some worse moments, one specifically that I'll bring up.
Yeah.
But yeah, the spacecraft sends a container towards Grace's ship, which he catches and brings on board after determining it's not dangerous. With again, this is all played. So much of it's played for comedy still. Like, we're right back. They are not scared to just flip flop back and forth, hard tone shift where it's like, oh, he's sending a message, or a bomb, and it's just like just getting laughs. Well, it's crazy.
Yeah, I will say the people in our theater are very silent. Maybe that's why I felt like it was less.
Yeah, except the people next to us, dude. That was like the only.
But we were
only
carrying up there.
Yeah, we were doing the most. The people next to us actually clapped at the end too, which is great.
Yeah, they joined you. That was kind.
Most don't do that for me. I always appreciate that. So yeah, he catches the container, and inside is a model made by the ship's inhabitant, depicting some sort of map of a star system, indicating that its origin is from 40 Eridani, a planet. The spacecraft the spacecraft produces a tunnel made of an element known as xenonite, which we don't really know yet, allowing Grace to cross over in a suit. This is just, it looks so cool. The CGI looks amazing in this, and it's just like this massive space bridge just branching out with this little like elevator almost system.
Right.
It's absolutely nuts.
You know, it's so cool.
And it's this new material that we've never seen. The spaceship of this other species is just fascinating. It almost looks like it's built out of like a bunch of wood sticks, like just put together. But it's this xenonite, and we get to go in it later and stuff. It's a really impressive vehicle. Totally. It can kind of make shapes out of anything. It can form anything it wants, I think, at points. So yeah, the spacecraft produces a tunnel, allowing Grace to cross over in his suit. Before we get to what happens after he crosses over, we should mention that there's this kind of whole montage, and a lot of montages in this movie, of Grace kind of going crazy for a while after he realizes that he's going to be alone, and he just indulges in the ship for a very long time. And there's this room where it projects Earth, and he spends a lot of time in there, and the different places it can project, and goes through people's stuff, and that's all happens before the eulogy for the dead astronauts.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we go in, and this is where a big problem happened, because we go in and the movie like switches to it's Alien right now. Like it's terrifying. He's going into a deep dark tunnel, and I literally know how tiny and like friendly the alien that he's going to meet is because I've seen the trailers. So I'm like, this whole moment I'm just waiting to get there. There's like nothing here for me. That's or for anybody who watched the second trailer. It was terrible. Like, I feel like they shouldn't have gone that far, because they spent a long time with him knocking on the glass and little jump scares even when this alien shows up. And it's just like, dude, we know it's a friend. Like, that's the problem with this marketing.
Yeah, that's fair. But I will say I did not think it was going to be anything, like, scary even though that it was building it up like that, based on the tone of the movie so far. Like, obviously there was a tone shift, and I could recognize that, and they could go in the... But it's like, in my mind, I was thinking, I'm like, how is this going to turn... Like, there needs to be something else there. So, like, at that point, I was getting on board of, like, okay, this is, like, something nice that he's, like, gonna help or interact with, or something like that. Like, I will say, not having any of that information, I was not expecting it to be something, like, bad or scary.
Interesting.
In the first place.
Yeah, well, the movie tried to do that to you.
Like, 100%. The jump scares did not even get me.
Interesting.
And
yeah.
Jump scares usually
so it just
get
failed
me.
on every front doing that, I guess. Or maybe it was trying to strike a better balance, knowing that it is going back to comedy. It just wasn't trying to be that scary. I don't know, though. The music was crescendoing. It was a deep, dark tunnel. It was full-blown.
Yeah.
I think they were playing into full-blown horror, space horror for a second. That was a failure, but such is. I would have liked to experience it not with the trailer. But I still liked it because we got to meet the rock-like alien, who ends up being a great guy, who mimics Grace's movements, and made a small figure based off of Grace. Grace names the alien Rocky, because, well, he looks like a rock.
Yeah. And Rocky Balboa.
Yeah. The guy's also got a Philadelphian accent, is the thing, as well, this alien, so it's got to slap that name on there.
I've never heard someone say Philadelphian accent.
You don't live close enough to the East Coast, man.
That's good.
Rocky, he creates a voice modulator, and this is like a kind of a large part of the movie, is how to talk to Rocky. You know, figuring out if Rocky's hostile for a while. There are little moments where Rocky kind of gets a little angry, and it's a little scary, where you think he's going to do something bad. But he doesn't really do anything bad at any point. But they eventually translate Rocky's speech to English, for them to communicate, because Rocky sees via echolocation, which we see sometimes actually in POV shots. We can see this like black and white kind of smoky looking figures and shapes that he sees through. But the voice communication thing, what do you think about how that all went down?
Like, personally, I could see people having like problems with that, and like specifically when he adds the voice to it, like there being like little like inflections of like oh, and it's like, well, that wouldn't make any sense.
Yeah, how and like words that why the heck would you code this word in before this other? And
right.
it's just there's also like the thing about for me, how does Rocky understand him still? That was just never explained. Like I don't that we never translated the other way.
I thought he did. I thought there was something next to it was translating it the other way. That was like doing like the like I don't know.
Yeah,
These, like,
when did
noises.
we do when did he
I
build
don't know.
that?
I didn't see it be built, so that's why I was like, did I just like miss something in like this
That
script?
it probably does happen in the book. That's the thing.
But you're
they just
right,
skip
because
over
how
it.
would they how does the other?
Yeah. Well, that
Well, I guess when he talks, if he's just like recording that in a sense and just matching.
like he
the
would have to
words he
teach Rocky
uses.
back the other way, I guess, right?
Well, not necessarily. Because, like, when they mutually agree of, oh, it's this...
Well, Rocky has to understand what the meaning of his words are.
That's true.
That's the thing.
That was the thing, is it's like he has to be really accurate with every word he's typing in, and I feel like he's not. Like, there are some things where it's like, that could be another word. Okay, I guess that was a good guess.
He also talks to Rocky a lot where he's like, using words that would just never, like, okay, there's no way that's getting through to Rocky, but... then in other situations, he'll say something and it doesn't get through to Rocky, and they'll make a thing out of it. And I'm like, come on, it just felt a little bit.
Right, like there wasn't enough of like Rocky not understanding his words.
Yeah, that's
rather than just the other way around.
From the very beginning, it literally.
Unless he can just speak English.
It got to the point where it made me think Rocky had met other humans, and it was going to be a storyline. Because also at the very beginning, one of the first things that Rocky asked for here before the voice modulator is take off the helmet. And I'm immediately looking around like, okay, Rocky is built out of rocks. He's not wearing a helmet. Based on what I have now, like, there is no way that this guy would know for a human, because you would just think that's part of the alien. If you don't know what a freaking helmet is, you see a helmet, you see this being, inside, like, he looks so weird, and it would just blend in. It's like, oh yeah, that's part of your skin. If you took off the helmet, you'd be like, whoa, you're taking your head off right now.
Right.
So that initially made me think, like, I didn't really care about it by the end, but for a second I thought there was going to be a whole storyline with Rocky being in contact with humans before.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, and that could have explained why I understood the English and everything.
No, you're so right, because that would, I mean, you would have to completely change the story, but that would, like, fill in the little plot holes.
Yeah, completely fuck up the rest of the story, but hey. But yeah, so they translate to English. Grace learns that Rocky was part of a crew of 23 Iridians. That's what they call his people from his planet. And he's the sole survivor. They make a pact to save the stars together. But we have flashbacks first. This is Strat introducing Grace to the scientist that he will eventually be at the funeral of prior to the mission, as well as their backups. They're all aware of the fate that awaits them, but they tell Grace that they have methods of death they can choose from. They witness the power of the spin drives powered by the astrophage on the Hail Mary ship, showing how it melts a ton of metal. And Grace tells Yao that he doesn't think he has the bravery genes that they do. Yao says he just needs to find someone to be brave for. Some nice little scenes. It's kind of just like a hype build up. There weren't many moments where I was annoyed to go back there.
Sure.
Until we got like really close to the end, because you kind of knew where it was going. But there was good twists and everything that happened within this story. I really liked the flashbacks.
Yeah, I did too.
The whole like narrative structure was just really well thought out.
I think the flashbacks for me were like done in the perfect way, because every time we switched timelines, I was just like, oh, like I would get into that timeline and be like, no, I'm away from this one, and then I'd get into the next one.
So true.
And that's like the best
how you want to
feel. Yeah.
That's a great point. Yeah, it's so back to the present now.
Yes.
Mara, sending us off in the past.
Wow.
Grace brings Rocky onto his ship. Kind of. Rocky really just goes onto his ship because he figures out. Basically, Rocky has, and it's never really explained. I'm sure it is in the book, but he has an ability to craft these glass-looking pieces that he can do all these crazy shapes with, and like there's these little pieces in the glass that he can reach his hands through, and it's all to preserve heat inside, because Rocky, it needs to be very hot for him. So he comes in as the new roommate of Grace, and we get some real good comedy as they're trying to figure out to collect a sample of astrophotos to figure out why it's not affecting the star. Because you know the comedy that I'm talking about.
Yes.
Ryan Gosling talking to the camera basically like he's an angry roommate ranting to his friend. It's so funny. I can't get my space type stuff going on, and Rocky can just hear everything he's saying.
It's so funny.
It's the like funniest moment in the movie for me. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Grace also shows Rocky aspects of Earth culture, though he starts to open up and admit that he didn't have anybody back on Earth, while Rocky had a mate back on his planet. Another flashback shows how lonely he felt on Earth among the crew, who all had partners of their own. After a talk with Strat, and one of my favorite moments in the movie, and for me, where like again, it was the tone shift. I think is like the funniest moments in the movie. And now like just this hard emotion because you have an outside conversation with Strat, and um, Grace basically just talking about their lives and the mission that they have coming. It's a very emotional conversation.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember specifically what they're saying. I guess it's a lot. There's just so much in this movie. It's so dense, man.
There is.
It's actually hard.
Yeah, there's a lot.
But it was like a deep talk where they both opened up to an extent. And then Strat comes in, this hard pressed lady who's just been a recruiter to this point, big government, and she sings Sign of the Times. And I'm just crying, man.
Yeah.
It was so good. Just like, I've had that happen, specifically happened in The Bear. Oh, there's somebody else from The Bear. Marcus from The Bear was a character in this too, a security guard. But in The Bear, there's a scene like that where somebody sings karaoke, and there's somebody who just wouldn't normally do that. I don't know why, but that's like such an emotional thing.
Oh, totally. I've seen that in like so
Have
many
you?
films.
I feel like I've seen them more too. I can't think of what they're from. But it's just like cheat code. The best part is
that song is so good.
Yeah, well, right.
And like so fitting for like just the situation of what is happening.
And her character's not that well built out in general. But, so this moment for her, I think, was very, very important.
Yeah, just gave her so much depth
Yes,
that
so
like
much
we
fun.
just wouldn't have
A whole different side to her.
Yes.
And then we continue with this kind of tone because Grace and Rocky, who are just buddies having a great time trying to figure out science stuff, laughing along, they get to the star, or to Taos, a planet's surface that Grace finds, and Grace finds himself in the Petrova line. They approach the planet, and it's basically this awesome scene because you have the Petrova line, and when this like infrared beam is turned on, I believe. Well, first it's all green, this beautiful planet, that's got a bad name for now, and it's just the way they're framing this with these big wide shots, and it's just Ryan Gosling out in space with Rocky talking to him. It's beautiful, but then you go to the red, and it's all these little white particles with red lighting everywhere else, and Ryan Gosling is just floating through them, and the music's crescendoing, and Rocky's shutting up finally for a little while. And I'm just crying from the moment, carrying on from the song. It's just so beautiful. I mean, like the colors, and like even Rocky breaks through the silence at a certain point, and Ryan Gosling goes, Rocky's like, "What are you doing?" Ryan Gosling's like having a moment.
Yeah.
And it doesn't even end. It's so. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say it was so just like such a beautiful scene. And I was just about to repeat the exact same thing that you said, so it's really not important. Go ahead.
Dude, no, but like you want to place some emphasis. Like it was one of a kind. The colors, the cinematography behind it, the sound design, the music. I mean, the technology that's going on there, and like the way those concepts are explained can make sense for like the things that we're seeing to be happening. It's just. Oh, and the best part for me too is they approach the planet just after talking about Rocky's love on his planet, and they ask, Rocky asks, well, what should we call this planet? And Ryan Gosling goes, well, what was your mate's name? And they don't have a word for it yet. And so Rocky asks, well, what's Rocky's mate? And of course Ryan Gosling goes, or Grace goes, Adrian. And I that was like the cherry on top for me. That's so, because it was genuine. Like that could have been played for laughs 100% at a different moment, but instead it was played as purely genuine, sitting on the edge of a spaceship.
Yes.
Wow, dude.
Beautiful. Beautiful
Some
scene.
real stuff there. But Grace recovers a sample of an organism that eats astrophage, which is a bacteria that he calls Tomobia, produced by the life that exists on Adrian. When Grace tells Rocky that he's not getting home, though, it's a very sad moment. Rocky offers to give him the astrophage he needs to help him get home, even if it means Rocky will get home 6 years slower than anticipated, which isn't that long for Rocky, we find out. So it's not actually that bad. You're okay.
And I do need to blow my nose. Sorry.
This gets Grace very emotional for the first time in a long time, basically since the first tone shift in the movie where we saw him freaking out about being in space. He's just been joking ever since, but once he realizes he actually get home, he's happy again. So we get a flashback, and it's a very happy moment between Grace and Strat. They're admiring the ship. There might be a love brewing there. You feel it to an extent until an explosion breaks out, and as a result of mishandling the astrophage, there's backup astronauts that are killed, and Strat wants Grace to go in place of the dead scientist, but Grace doubts that he's capable of pulling it off. And that's where, pretty much you think, that's why Grace went. He decides to go.
Yeah.
We go back to the present. Grace and Rocky move above Adrian's atmosphere, and we get a great sci-fi scene, which this movie hasn't had a ton of. Like, we haven't had these big action sci-fi scenes, so this was so good for this moment.
Yes.
Like, going into the third act, or wherever the hell we are. There's so many acts in this, but I'm, like, lost.
Yeah, that's
But
so good.
they move above the atmosphere, and a fuel leak breaks out, causing damage to them, but they have to go into the atmosphere of this, like, this green planet, and basically Ryan Gosling has to get on top of the ship and drop this creation down that Rocky made to be able to capture samples, and they have to get out before the gravity can take out the ship and all this stuff. Trying to get a handle on the situation, Grace gets knocked out after slamming against the controls. Rocky gets out of his spacesuit to protect Grace, though it causes him severe damage. And I thought it killed him. Because
Oh yeah, me too.
the last shot we see, he's just like a pile of rocks. He can't really move anymore. It's been established he can't take this cold. So it's just like really bad.
No, I thought for sure he was dead.
Yeah. And he saves Ryan Gosling with it. He wakes up and Rocky's just injured, barely alive. And I was like, okay, they just wanted to give him a final moment, I guess, to say goodbye. Whatever. I guess I can complain about that. He tries to regulate the temperature, but Rocky just falls asleep, and he might not wake up. During this time, Grace works to breed the Tomobia. He just works and keeps talking to Rocky until Rocky does wake up. Yay. One of the things in there, too, is Rocky left a message for Grace that just says save Earth, and it's like, when did you do that, Rocky? Between dying from the cold and getting into his little compartment, he typed out a quick little, or just spoke a little sentence to the thing and said save real fast. Like, I don't...
I know. How did he do that? How did he have the time? How did he know how to do that?
And how did he survive in the first fucking place, man?
A little.
He probably shouldn't have survived. But he wakes up, and they celebrate their discovery, and it's happy when he wakes up. But eventually the time comes for the two to part ways. Though it's clear nobody wants to go, they acknowledge their friendship, and we get pretty much every callback that we can to their friendship in a row. Did you notice that?
Yes.
Like every little hand movement, every possible line. It's so funny. And it shows we get one more flashback after this, and it shows Grace coming to Strat with his decision, which is not to join the mission, despite understanding the stakes. With no choice left, Strat has Grace drugged and put on the ship, and I'm like, holy, that's a good twist, dude. That explains why, he came out of the coma like he did and everything like that.
Literally my worst fear. The idea of being in space, just thinking about it too long, of myself being in space freaks me out to the point where I joke with my friends and they're like, no one is going to put you in a spaceship and send you up to space. And then watching this, I'm like, fuck, someone's gonna drug me and I'm gonna be in a coma and I'm gonna wake up in space.
That's a horrible fear to have.
Yeah, unlocked a new fear, I guess.
No, yeah, it's just a scary moment. It's just because the tone of At Home was outside of conversations with Strat, and that song was super happy. It's just homie building a spaceship, building this fuel and being a science guy, and then he gets roped into the thing at the end because there's a bad explosion. It all makes sense, but then it's look, we can't take any risks. You're the only person who can go.
Dude.
And it makes sense. I mean, I don't blame her for making that decision. Though I felt very, very bad for our boy Grace.
No, it's like, you know, like the what's that thing called? Like the trolley problem, you know?
Yeah.
Like the same.
No, I know what the trolley problem is, but I don't know what the hell it is.
Well, like if you're on a track, right? And you're going to hit whatever 5 people, you could pull a lever and turn and only hit one person. What do you do?
Wow. Yeah.
But then there's like more things to add to it. It's like
So
one person is
the
your
trolley
mom,
problem.
or that one like those 5 people
Thank
are
you. I've heard that
are
brought
like
up in
doctors
movies before.
and all of those things. So it's the same kind of vibe where it's like, I am killing this one person and like forcing them to kill themselves, but also to save whatever, a quarter of the world or whatever was gonna die. So
It's worth
same
it.
vibe.
It's great because there's so many movies that play both sides of it, you know?
Totally.
Like there's movies that make it more worth saving the single person and explain that to the fullest and make you believe it. There's movies that save the world and explain that to the fullest.
That's
and
why
make you
it's
believe
such a dilemma.
it. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah.
So good. So that's just the most fucked up flashback ever.
Oh,
so we get back and he's en route to Earth, and I kind of like this because he's about to get back to Earth and be like, "Fuck you guys" for just the biggest middle finger ever, dude. He's getting his bag from NASA. Oh my god. But unfortunately, there's a problem, and the Tomobus starts to eat through the Xenonite containers. And eating the astrophage on the Hail Mary. So Grace manages to get the situation under control, but realizes Rocky's ship, which is made entirely of Xenonite, is going to have the same problem. He's screwed. He's going to get killed. So knowing that he only has enough fuel for one option, of course, go home or save Rocky, he makes a decision. Now, did you think anything in this moment when he goes, I only have enough fuel to either go home or save Rocky?
I was thinking, how long is this fucking movie? That's what I was thinking, to be honest. Because I thought we were almost done.
Me too, because the big sci-fi stuff felt like climax, right?
Yeah, I thought we had a good
And then we had the goodbye.
between. Yeah.
No, that's true. This felt a little tacked on, but then I liked where we landed at the end, though. You know.
No, I did too.
So, but
sorry.
Because it was just.
I know that's not the answer you were looking for.
Because it was such happy ending stuff.
Yes.
So, like, my problem here though was, here's what I was thinking is, go home or save your friend. You only have enough fuel for one option, unless one of those options has a shit ton more fuel for you.
Oh, yeah.
Which is Rocky, which he already said he did. He has he has so much. He gave Ryan Gosling enough to get back to Earth already, and it only took like 6 years off his trip getting home. He definitely has more to give you, dude. And if not, you can get to his you can get to his planet, and then they could probably get I was just like, come on, this isn't a real scenario. Of course he's gonna go, but then. It's like the writers were like, what if somebody thinks about this? So they play this where Ryan Gosling basically puts in the cure to saving the stars and sends them off. And they're all named after the Beatles, which is just kind of odd. They paid a lot for that Beatles licensing for that little thing. It's probably just from the book, I guess. But Jesus Christ. And you think it's going, the way they play it, for me, I was like, wait, it's going to Rocky. Because they didn't say anything about it, and Rocky's the first one mentioned. And I was like, holy moly, until he shows up, or you get the probes. I forget which happens first. I think you just get his ship and Rocky's ship back together.
Yeah.
Or whatever it is. Yeah, so he's going to Rocky. He's not going home. It was just very smart how they played that. They tried to trick you into thinking that those packages were going out to Rocky and he was going home. And then it turns out that was not the case.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. You seemed very disengaged.
No, you're right. Never mind.
What? Is that not how it played out? Because I could have also missed something.
I did not have that thought. I thought they were going to Earth. that the packages were going to Earth, but I also understand
Because
now
I'm pretty sure
with you saying
the way
that,
the movie played
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. No, that was me. My waiting was me
You're
trying to
just smart as
process
fuck.
all of that. Well, I just assumed, like, where else are they sending it? And he previously mentioned to Rocky that that's how he would get them back when he, like, told him basically
Probes,
that he
yeah.
was gonna, yeah.
Dude, I mean, you're just smarter than the movie, apparently. 2 times I feel like the movie tries to get your brain to go somewhere where your brain does not go. Once with fear in a dark tunnel, and another time with this. You're just smarter, dude. But yeah, because he decides to save Rocky, right? And he goes back, and it's really cool because the probes land successfully. We see Strat being happy and reviewing Grace's logs. But then Rocky, like, made this whole kind of ant farm essentially for Ryan Gosling, where they could just control the temperature and pretty much have a home for Ryan to live on, or for Grace to live on, and it's super nice. He can also the very best part is at the very end. He's a teacher to the rock children of that area, or the Irid children of that area.
Yep.
At the very end, Rocky tells Grace that the scientists back have made it possible for Grace to return home, but he decides to think it over. Rocky asks him to think for a long time. And that's our movie.
Aww.
And they all live happily ever after.
There we go.
And thank you. You're just waiting for me to get
That's what I was waiting for.
Yes. Dude. And they really do this time. They really do all live
do.
happily ever after.
Aww.
Like, human race is saved. I don't know. It's pretty dope. We don't get to see the fallout of what's happening. It's definitely colder on the Earth, we see, because all we see is the Arctic when we go back. But it seems like whatever is going on there, it will be saved from here on out.
Yeah. So, truly happily ever after. Yeah, I thought it was a good movie. As far as characters go, and I feel like we've said this like a lot for like a lot of the movies, but it's just a lot of these characters, and there weren't a lot. It was just like personality trait, and that is what they are, and not a lot of build on it. But like we said, for what's her name?
Strat.
For Strat, like her singing that song really brought like some like depth to her character.
100%.
That was really beautiful. We got to see a lot with all of the different emotional moments with Grace, whether he was like doing the funeral for the other astronauts or those sort of sad moments with Rocky.
Yeah.
But overall, it's just like, again, we have this category, but there's not a lot to dive into on the characters.
Yeah, Grace got all the character in this, you know?
Yeah.
It was just all him, and they were building 2 parts of his life at the exact same time, which is really, really cool. I liked with his character, again, how they had just the hard moments of going to, like, despair or anger or something, like, because he's just, like, so carefree in so much of it, where it could feel like The Martian, where a lot of people are just like, this is just like the perfect human to be in this situation. He's literally just like, to the next thing, he has like one day of struggle throughout the entire.
Right.
You still feel in this movie like he struggled, and you saw the struggle, but he has the other aspect of just being able to get to the next thing, you know, solve the next problem.
Yeah.
It's I thought that was a really cool part of his game, and then just how Rocky kind of opened him up more and more, finding something to love. What that did for him was cool. Rocky's character was good too. You know, I was more interested in his like alien species.
Yeah.
But he actually had a good amount of depth, right?
Well, I mean, not really. I mean, I feel like it just
a lot of comedy.
Just like that kind of like typical like sidekick type character.
But
like,
he had
a
like
bit. I guess
the past love, the stuff he's willing to do for other people.
Right.
I mean, I guess he is just the perfect dude though. He's like the best dog ever, pretty much.
Right.
Yeah, you're
like a little
right.
robot that you build. Yeah, it's just like the perfect.
That's true.
Companion. I guess he was like really attached to Grace, which was like funny.
Their friendship didn't hit me as hard. Maybe that's it. Is Rocky's depth, but their friendship like moments didn't hit me as hard in that movie. I think is the movie wanted them to. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, no, that's fair.
I like the first act of that movie is probably my favorite part outside of just the sci-fi stuff we got, you know, at the end.
Yeah.
Especially with the colors and the way that this just looked like unlike any other sci-fi movie I've ever seen. It's
Yeah.
so colorful.
No, that was definitely, it was gorgeous movie.
Yeah.
Sorry. Alright, favorite character?
Favorite character for me.
No, for me. Who's my favorite character?
It's Grace
Yeah.
for me. I mean,
You can take it. It's
he's the only person with that much focus, with as much focus that, I don't know, gives me a full built character, I guess, outside of maybe Rocky. And I don't know, I think his story was just really well thought out. The twists that happened were cool. I liked the fractured storytelling a lot. And I liked how I kept wanting it to meet in the middle of, like, how does this guy who, like, doesn't want to help eventually help? And there's nothing in this, you know, while he's in the spaceship in the future that, like, makes me think he would want to help. And it was so cool to end up seeing, oh, he didn't want, he decided against it, which is, like, it made so much sense. It, like, connected this puzzle of Gosling's character. So I thought it was really cool.
Yeah, totally. For the record, I would say the same.
Yeah.
But in the effort of being different.
Yep.
I guess I'll probably go with Strat. Is her name?
I can figure out her first name if you want.
It's not important. But I just think not a lot of characters.
Eva Strat.
There's not a lot of characters to pick from to begin with, I guess.
Yeah.
But she has she's very, like, hard-headed is not the right word. What word am I looking for? Like, very just, like, driven.
Steadfasted?
And, like,
Or steadfast?
I don't know what that means, to be honest.
Headstrong.
Yeah. And, like, very, like, determined and, like, on top of her shit. And she just stays very consistent. I feel like there are some characters that, like, have that typical type, but then their emotional moments kind of fall out of it, and it's like, well, that doesn't really make sense for that character. I feel like every time she showed emotion, it aligned perfectly with the type of character that she was playing, though she didn't get, like, the most screen time.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
That's okay, yeah.
That's
she was good. I didn't expect to. I expected to be able to rip on her a lot more.
Yeah, no, I think she was a solid character, for sure.
For my worst character, I'm going to go with Rocky. I'll just try and take it. Or, well, no. Do you have stuff on that? Because I don't have stuff. Actually, no, yeah. So I'll go with the Captain Astronaut.
Okay.
Because he had actually a little bit of potential with some good lines, and, like, that should kind of, like, had an effect on Grace, where it was like, hey, you need something to root for, essentially.
Yeah.
I don't know. He just could have had more. Would have been nice for either of those astronauts to have more, honestly. It's kind of a package deal with those two. Because they were literally just walked in and was like, yeah, I'm fine with killing myself. Why? Who knows?
What's to say?
Yeah, that's just it. For humanity. It's like, okay, all right, withdraw, that's fine. No more questions.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Yeah, for my least favorite character, I will go with Rocky. I think, like, the issue, the more I think about the character, is it's possible we're not feeling, like, as heavy of the friendship dynamic because of, I don't know what the right level, like, the right, like, word is, but, like, it's almost like the immaturity. Like, it almost seems like a relationship between, like, a pet and an owner, even though Rocky is really smart and, like, knows how to do things.
True.
It's, like, that little bit of, like, I don't know, like, being, like, a bit naive or something like that, like, gives that vibe of, it's, like, it feels more like he's taking care of something other than, like, a genuine friendship where I can view this as, like, an actual character rather than just,
they
like,
do a lot to
extension.
try and make Rocky resourceful.
Yeah.
You know? But there's
And he does shit,
all,
for sure.
all of the big signs time, it's just one scene, quick mumbo jumbo talk through what they're doing real fast, and they make Rocky saying the words.
Yeah.
And that's his moments of showing. And that's like such a blip out of what you're saying, the bigger part of their friendship there.
Right.
That's a great point.
Yeah. That's what I would say for Rocky. Alright, favorite scene?
I definitely have mine.
Go for it.
I already took favorite character, so are you sure you want me to take?
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. It's the scene on top of the spaceship looking at what will be Adrian by the end of this scene, and with the just the cinematography and the colors, the visual effects obviously, and practical effects I'm sure that went into creating this. It was angelic. Like, I floated, man. I completely got taken out of the theater and just like
Totally.
I love when you get to lose yourself in a movie to that extent.
Yeah.
That was one of a kind. That's mine.
Yeah. I agree with that for sure. I'll go very close to that scene since it's all in the same moment. I'll go with
Wave.
Strat seeing Sign of the Times. I
Yes.
think that was just an incredible moment, and that going right into the scene that you talked about, like, it was just like it felt like it put you in the right place emotionally for that big moment, and it was also just like so well done. All the things you said about adding so much more depth to her character was really
Yes.
great, but it was like it got you in the perfect headspace to see that next scene.
And to make the heartbreak so much worse.
Yeah.
You know, when she flips the tables on, because you look at how Grace is looking at her, so proud of like her coming out of her comfort zone essentially.
Yeah.
And she ends up being the one to betray him.
Mm-hmm.
Woof.
Yeah. It's rough. Very, very rough. It's now time for your segment.
Really?
I was trying to point and signal to you and point at the thing on my screen without actually saying it.
My bad, I kind of forgot. Gio's Hidden Gems, baby. Woohoo! This is Gio's Hidden Gems, the most expensive movie factoids. You're right there?
Yeah, no, we're just getting close on time, but we're good.
Yeah, this is going to be one of the shortest episodes ever, I believe, with what we're doing. Literally the shortest episode ever. Because the story,
Okay, well, we need to speed it up.
If you think about what we went through in the story, we covered so much, but it was so, like, light, because it would be 10 pages long going in depth, but you have to hit, it's dense.
Totally.
So there's the scene where Eva Stratz sings karaoke was not in the original script. Ryan Gosling, I'm just reading this for the first time, overheard Sandra Huller singing between takes and asked her to perform for the movie 48 hours before filming the scene. That's why it felt like that.
You're fucking kidding me.
Wow. So it was real. It was real. That's why it felt like that.
Wow. That is insane.
So cool.
Oh. Damn.
I mean, it just makes it, the performance, no wonder it was so raw, man. That's sweet. And
Wow.
I wonder if that was ad-libbed at the end saying, I'm done. Or she's at the very end of her speech, and that's it. Ryan Gosling is the only choice for Grace, and was signed on after the book rights were bought in 2021. We'll talk about in a sec with those book rights. Ryan Gosling wears glasses in the film because during wardrobe tests, his daughter passed by and mentioned he looks smart with glasses. Second film adaptation of a novel by Andy Weir. The first was The Martian. It's the same guy writing the screenplay for both Drew Goddard. Andrew Weir sold the film's book rights to Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer in early 2020 for $3 million. Hopefully he has some sort of deal with the movie to make some money from all these sales.
Yeah.
This is the actress Sandra Huller's first American film, by the way. The Strat.
Wow.
Yeah, she did great. Author Andy Weir's initial announcement of the film made from the book said he's thrilled to announce that Emma Stone will be playing Rocky in the film adaptation of Project Hail Mary. This will be a reunion of Stone and Gosling. It was an April Fool's joke. Yeah. Years
That's
later,
so funny.
it turned out Rocky was instead voiced by James Ortiz, who was actually the on-set puppeteer for Rocky, who was basically just mimicking on set with Ryan Gosling, and they had just so much banter back and forth that they were just like, this is good enough, we just have to put it in the movie. Second film where Gosling portrays an astronaut. Do you know the first?
First Man.
Nice, yeah.
It's this,
Little hint in
the
there.
Chazelle
Chazelle.
one. Yeah, that's
Great,
why I know
great
it.
movie, dude. Oh. That's what the music sounds like the whole time. That's awesome. Prior to Project Hail Mary, Greg Fraser. Let's talk about Greg Fraser real fast. This is a cinematographer, and he stood out immensely in this, with just so many. Uh, just specifically the color is what I noticed in this, obviously with the space shots. But I what he's done before, I guess he's built a reputation for blending massive scale with intimate and naturalistic textures. So he's done, and he's pretty much Jesus, I think. He did Rogue One, if you remember, so cinematography is beautiful, but then he did The Batman after that, and then Dune Part 1 and 2.
Ooh.
This is the Dune cinematography. He is
Okay,
unbelievable.
I see. Yeah.
Like, and you just know, you never feel the camera, but at any moment, if you think to, like, if you choose to take a step back and think about how this is framed, how the lighting looks here, how the massive textures are blended with intimate natural scale, you'll notice, man. It's good.
Totally.
It's really, really good.
Totally.
But that's it for Gio's Hidden Gems. All currencies are available.
Wow.
Thank you.
That was great.
Thank
Some
you.
Great little gems in there. I really enjoyed
Oh,
it.
thank you. Yeah, this movie had a lot of them, right?
Yeah.
Some good ones.
Yeah, no, that first one really shocked me, for sure.
That's so cool. Yeah, I'm happy I don't read these before now. Because that's so cool, dude, to know.
Yeah, no, that's so funny. We talked so much about that scene.
Yeah.
Such a good choice.
Stand
Amazing.
out.
All right, now we are on to our critic reviews.
Critic Reviews. By the way, if since we're not talking about it, both of our best element for this one, cinematography.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about. I still need to redo this. Didn't do it for the new year, but I'll redo it
Eventually.
correctly. But yeah, it's obviously cinematography.
Oh yeah, and best line is Adrian for me. Critics Reviews good is Adam Naiman from the Toronto Star. It's funny and absorbing and familiar without being derivative. It gets the job done, but there's nevertheless something grinding and mechanical about a film that means to be a tribute to the subtle qualities of the human spirit. Jesus Christ, Adam. It's just a lot of words, bro. I don't even know how to unpack this stuff.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it was funny and it wasn't familiar for sure. I think that, like, the familiarity of it, which you spent like one word on, but that's the biggest thing. It felt like no sci-fi movie I've ever seen.
Yes.
Like, that was not. It was crazy.
Yeah.
There was like interstellar shades to it,
Mm-hmm.
but like along with 2001 shades,
Mm-hmm.
along with Ad Astra specifically shades with the loner space and some of the visuals. And it was just like they combined so many different genres of space movie that I don't have the expertise to name. So I hope that's what Naiman's hitting on there. Then we have Peter Travers. You love Peter Travers, don't you? From the Travers take, in the most purely pleasurable movie so far this year, Ryan Gosling has a blast as a science guy who rockets into space to save all our asses with jolts, jokes, and smarts that won't quit. It's the best, man. That sounds like an ad more so, Peter. But yeah, we love this movie.
Yeah.
On to the bad. You gave it a 3.5 out of 4. It's a fresh score for the first one. I don't have the actual. Bad was Justin Change. I'm pretty sure it's probably supposed to be Chang. From the New Yorker. The audience's goodwill is a precious, unstable resource, and the flippancy of Project Hail Mary expands it recklessly. Rotten score. So, the audience's goodwill is a precious, unstable resource. And because, like, Project Hail Mary being flippant makes sense. Like, it's so in your face about how it is, and just, like, doesn't care what the fuck it's doing at any point. But the audience, how is the audience's goodwill being, like...
I don't understand what that means.
I think he's just saying that, like, the way that the audience should be receiving this movie is being broken by how flippant. I don't know. We're just gonna.
Yeah, let's move on.
Fuck you, Justin. On to Owen Glibberman from Variety. Project Hail Mary wants to be the kind of great escape we need right now, and I have no doubt that many will hail it as one, so forgive me if I say it's not a very good movie. Yeah, he doesn't give much here, but I don't know. There are a couple ways that this could be not a very good movie. Maybe I'll hit on them in my own rating.
Yeah.
But that's it for our Critics Reviews.
All right, now it's time for our ratings.
Yes.
Take it away.
Well, first of all, I want to say it's an honor to be back. Sorry. I enjoyed the movie. I had really high expectations for it coming in because crazy marketing, and I just saw how much money it made, and it lived up to expectations and some. It was crazy because the story was so all over the place that I felt like when the whole came together, there was no way I wasn't going to be able to just focus on the bad in it, because I know there is some bad folks, but it was just the whole of what this movie was. It brought you completely out of this world, did something new for sci-fi movies, made you laugh a ton. It wasn't dark at all, has the happiest ending ever that makes sense in context, just does so much right. You know, I wish there's a bit more with Rocky. I wish that I guess I just wish that there were more well thought out tone shifts, you know, because the way that we felt the biggest emotion in the movie for us was technically the start of the third act, or around there, you know. Like, it wasn't the biggest emotion should have been Rocky and, you know, either Rocky saving Iron Gosling or them leaving each other.
Right.
And instead that was not it for us. So there's something there, I think, that's missing. But overall, I enjoyed the watch so much, and Ryan Gosling did a great job. One of a kind. I'll never forget that one scene that I got to watch as well, with all the colors. So for all those reasons, I am going to end up sitting this one at a 4.5 even.
Wow.
Pretty high.
All right.
Oh, wait. Sorry. The other bullshit thing was all the Rocky logic inconsistencies, and I explained those by it's a book, so it works in my brain. There's probably so much filled in.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Totally.
Keep
Gotta
it up.
keep that in mind.
My bad.
For me, I went into this knowing barely anything, and I was pleasantly surprised. It was way more funny than I thought it would be. I had a lot of out loud laughs, that just like a lot of really good moments of comedy. Like we said, the cinematography was just like incredible, and not a surprise now learning who the cinematographer was. Like,
yes.
It was just absolutely, it was just overall just such a gorgeous movie to watch. I was able to like really follow the timeline like easily, like any of the jumps back and forth. I wasn't confused as what was going on. With it being so like space and science-y forward, I never felt like I was like, wait, I don't know those words, so now I don't know what's going on, which I feel like can happen in some like space movies where it's like, well, I don't know what that means. Like, how am I supposed to, like, I did not feel that way at all, which was one of my concerns. Yeah, I think overall I just had some problems with Rocky, like Gio said, but also it's just hard to do like that buddy comedy vibe when it feels like there's like this, I don't know what the right word is, but like power imbalance between the characters. Like, they're on different, like, it just, Grace felt like he was much more taking care of Rocky than Rocky was taking care of him. Like, it didn't feel like mutual there for me, which I think threw off a lot of the emotions in certain places, but overall, I did enjoy it. It's not my typical type of movie, not the one that I would necessarily go and see if it wasn't for this, but I'm really glad I did. So I think I'm going to land it at a 4.2.
Bang.
Yeah.
Wow, way low. Dang.
3 points lower.
3 lower. For us, that's a big difference, though.
Yeah, I think that's where it feels right for me.
Dude, that's all good stuff there. All good stuff.
Unfortunately, I forgot to. Do you know the next movie we're seeing?
Yeah, I can find out real fast if you stall for a couple seconds.
Yeah, totally.
Give us some social media shout-outs.
Social media shoutouts?
Yeah, we've never done that before.
Like what? What
Alright,
does that mean?
I guess I stalled the time. Our next movie is this.
Where is it?
At the top, yellow. F-O-F.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Our next movie, I'm very excited
Me too.
about. Starring Zendaya
Yes.
and Robert Pattinson.
Robbie P.
It is going to be The Drama.
Let's go, dude.
I'm hyped for this one.
You ready
I've
for
been
some
seeing
drama?
a lot of the press for it.
What did Zendaya
I'm
say
excited.
during that dinner that she did? What was her biggest mistake? I only
I'm
people who've
excited.
seen that trailer are gonna get it. Yeah.
It's gonna be great.
Me too, dude.
Anything else sad? I'm getting stressed out.
I think I'm all.
The security's
You
people
know what?
on us.
I do
Oh,
just
God,
want
here
to
we
stretch
go.
it out and let you feel the
Oh,
anxiety.
here we go.
No, I'm
here
good.
we
I'm
go.
good.
All right, with that, I'm Mara.
And I'm Gio.
So join us next week after opening weekend because we're going to talk about movies is clearly not our
And it makes it
thing.
platters
It's
on your
very
phone.
loud.
Yeah, platters. I'm not sure if that's a word I can use.
Were you
there.
looking for splatters?
Yes, there we go.
And that's also not the right word.
I feel like you're showing up to my sentence late.
I'm sorry. It's just I
Is it the fact that your head hurts pretty bad and your sinuses are stuffed and you just came off sickness the previous day?
yes.
No excuses, bro.
Over myself.
Hey,
That's so gross.
do you need some?
Do you have a tissue? Like a napkin
Yeah.
of sorts?
It's just all the way in the back. It's awfully convenient. Hold space for that. What do you think about this whole Jim Carrey situation? Red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather, Irish wristwatch, Irish wristwatch, Irish wristwatch. Try and do it. I do that a lot, so I've gotten good at them.
Red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather. No, fuck. I used to be able to
Try
do it
Irish
so good.
wristwatch.
Irish wristwatch. Fuck.
Welcome back to Fresh Out the Film. My name is I'm joking.
That would have been so fucked up. You're
Unfortunately,
just like, I'm taking over the intro, and actually all of the categories.